Mr. Speaker, it is my pleasure today to rise before this honorable House to provide an overview of the Consumer Price Index, the methodology behind its calculations, and to talk generally about Bermuda's rate of inflation. Mr. Speaker, this House will be aware of recent comments in the media about inflation in other parts of the world and the concerns regarding the accuracy of the statistics produced here in Bermuda. The government of Bermuda stands firmly behind the methodology used and the integrity of the data produced by the Department of Statistics. Mr. Speaker, the Consumer Price Index is a statistical tool used for measuring the rate of inflation and change in the general level of prices of consumption of goods and services by private households. The index measures price movement of a given quality and quantity of goods and services. The combination of goods and services comprising the index are figuratively referred to as a shopping basket. Mr. Speaker, in constructing the basket, thousands of selected goods and services were organized by commodity and service type and then divided into subcomponents and assigned to one of the following 9 major expenditure groups or aggregate indices: food, rent, clothing and footwear, tobacco and liquor, fuel and power, household goods, services and supplies, transport and vehicles, education, recreation, entertainment and reading, and health and personal care. Mr. Speaker, the Department of Statistics uses the United Nations Consumer Price Index Manual for methodological and computational guidance. A modified Lespier's approach is used to measure the rate of change in a fixed set of prices over time. The computation of the CPI begins with the collection of over 3,100 price data from retail stores and household service providers. The frequency of pricing varies and is conducted either monthly, quarterly, or annually. Once the prices of goods and services have been collected, they are verified and cross-checked to ensure validity of the data being used in the CPI calculations. Prices are compared with previous months and years' price data to monitor price fluctuations and maintain consistency. Mr. Speaker, it is imperative to maintain the fixed shopping basket in terms of the quality of items it contains. Over the life of the CPI shopping basket, the sale of some goods and services in the basket will discontinue, and the qualitative consumption of others will change. The need to replace missing items is common to all CPIs, since the characteristics of some items evolve frequently while the production or sale of others is discontinued. As such, the methodology accounts for this occurrence, and in Bermuda, we do substitute items within the basket of goods. For details of the Department's CPI methodological procedures is outlined in the publication Understanding the Consumer Price Index, which is available on the Department of Statistics portal. Mr. Speaker, the base period for the current CPI is April 2015, and it is a reference point for measuring price change of goods and services. Bermuda's current CPI basket of goods and services is derived from a 2013 household expenditure survey, which collected income and expenditure patterns and levels for all residents. Mr. Speaker, the survey has 3 main objectives. Firstly, to collect household income to provide an indication of the living standards of Bermuda's residents. Secondly, to update consumer expenditure benchmarks estimates for inclusion in the gross domestic product calculation. And thirdly, to obtain current household expenditure data on goods and services to reflect spending habits of Bermuda's residents for the purpose of re-rating the CPI. Mr. Speaker, the HES provides detailed weekly expenditure data required for an assessment of a household's spending patterns. The CPI re-rating process reviews items in the shopping basket with a view to include new items or removing items that are no longer sufficient. The average weekly household spending totals for the major consumption groups as reported in a HES reflect the expenditure rates or relative spending share that comprise the 9 sectors of the current CPI shopping basket. Mr. Speaker, in 2013, the rent sector of Bermuda's CPI basket accounted for the largest household spending share, or weight among the 9 sectors of the CPI, 26.7%. This sector tracks the price of a basket of dwelling units subject to rent control and units not subject to rent control, land tax, repair rates, material cost, and home content insurance. Currently, rents are stable. The weighting of the rent sector is causing a stabilizing effect on the overall rate of inflation, as other sectors such as food, which is rising month to month. Mr. Speaker, if there is not significant movement in the sectors with the largest weights, the inflation rate will remain moderate. The sectors are weighted as follows: food, 11.5%, rent, 26.7%, clothing and footwear, 2.5%, tobacco and liquor, 3.1%, fuel and power, 3.9%, household goods, services and supplies, 11.6%, transport, 13%, education, recreation and reading, 14.7%, health and personal care, 13%. And that combines the all items index, which will create a total of 100%. Mr. Speaker, in response to ongoing dialogue comparing Bermuda's inflation to that of other countries, it is imperative to account for differences in weighting across the sectors. Additionally, the factors that impact the movement of inflation are country-specific. Historically, Bermuda has conducted an HES approximately every 10 years. The last survey was conducted in 2013, and previously surveys were held in the years 2004, 1993, 1982, and 1974. The data collection period ranges from 6 weeks to 4 months. Mr. Speaker, in response to a request from the Department of Statistics in June 2022, the Caribbean Regional Technical Assistance Center conducted a technical assistance mission to improve the CPI, including the design and conduct of a household expenditure survey for the estimation of expenditure rates. The Department of Statistics has been advised that international best practice has shifted and that the household expenditure survey should now be conducted every 5 years instead of 10. In addition, CONTACT recommended that the Department of Statistics conduct data collection over a 12-month period to better capture seasonal spending habits. Mr. Speaker, it is anticipated that the Department will commence data collection on a new household expenditure survey within the next 12 months. However, a revised CPI shopping basket and expenditure rates will not become available until approximately 2 years after the data collection is completed, which will see the base year shift from 2015 to 2025. Between the 6th and 17th of June 2022, the Department is participating in a remote technical assistance mission with CONTACT to acquire further advice on the CPI and HES. Mr. Speaker, I would like to thank the Director, Melinda Williams, and her team of technical officers for their hard work and dedication during these challenging times. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.